Hi, what up? Welcome to the Radiant Calm podcast. My name is Linny. I love coconuts, palm trees, and mind-body wisdom, and I hope you do too. I'm a mindfulness and meditation teacher, and on my journey, I've met a lot of cool people that have taught me life-changing practices, tools, and ideas. On this show, I'll interview them and offer you their reflections on accessing your radiance, joy, and health of mind, body, and heart. Like, comment, subscribe, do all the fun things so we can get this party started. Yay! Alex Cordovi.
Yay! I'm so excited to be here.
Oh my God, who wants to hear that? Alex Cordovi is a lunar astrologer, a women's empowerment leader, and creatrix of womxn.co. After years of feeling low self-worth and inability to truly express her wisdom and power, Alex knew that there had to be another way. She began practicing yoga and meditation, created daily self-care rituals, and attending women's circles as she followed the cycles of the moon. Through this, she embodied her own sense of personal power with confidence and confidence and ease. And felt the call to develop moonalchemy.co, which, so beautiful. Just the sound of it is beautiful. Using the moon cycles and natal astrology as a North Star, she empowers women in connecting and feeling confident with who they truly are. She inspires women to fully embody their femininity, embrace vulnerability as power, yes, and express themselves authentically, even if it's messy. Oh, I need to do that. By creating practices and daily rituals that resonate with the energy of the current astral bodies and connecting in loving and compassionate sisterhood. OMG. That sounds like something I would love to be a part of. Good afternoon, Alex. Hey. Wow. So I met you back in, 2000.
14.
Thank you. You're so in connection with the universe. You know these things.
Well, in astrology, you gotta remember a lot of dates. So,
We met at yoga teacher training where I just fell in love with Alex's energy and her amazing back bends. That is one thing I really remember, is just like your back bends were just so stellar. And so could you tell us a little bit more about your yoga journey and how that's evolving now? Yeah.
Absolutely.
Thanks.
So I began my yoga journey in high school. I must have been like 16 or 17.
Mm-hmm.
My sister was kind of in the midst of trying all these different exercise modalities, and she invited me to go with her. So I thought, okay, yeah, that interests me. I've been pretty athletic my whole life, and I felt really called more to the spiritual side of it than the physical aspect. But either way, we did it together. I loved it so much. And then since then, I had kind of been in and out of the practice. I was going, it's like, adolescence and your 20s. And I feel like that's such a period of evolution and growth and figuring out who you are. So I found myself like waxing and waning in and out of the yoga practice until about the age of 26. I'm 35 now.
Oh, hey, me too. What up?
The age of 26, I got really heavily into Bikram yoga.
Mm.
Yeah.
Wow, I did not know.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And maybe the fourth class, I remember it was maybe the fourth class. And there was this moment in the class where my energy shifted from being focused to being complacent about the practice. And I was getting really frustrated, and I'm like, when the fuck is this gonna be over? Are we allowed to curse on here?
Yeah.
A little dirty mouth, so I want to be sure.
Oh, wow, this is fun.
I saw your face reaction. I'm like, oh shit, am I allowed to curse? Is this an adult podcast? So I got really frustrated and impatient, and there was so much negative self-talk until I got to the end, to Shavasana. And we lay down, and I just got this overwhelming feeling of emotion. And I started sobbing in Shavasana. And I was like, oh, there's more to this. I gotta keep doing it. Even though I was like committing to myself the whole practice that I was never coming back. So I did. I kept going back, and I started to see the ways in which this practice could provide a platform for transformation. And then I got my teacher training. We did that together.
Yes.
Got our certification in 2014.
Hey, Ian, shout out wherever you are.
And as I started teaching, I felt like there was a way in which I could go deeper, but I wasn't sure how or what to do with it. I wanted to create a space where people could experience the practice in the same way that I did, as a way of healing emotionally. And I came across this chakra workshop. It was like a chakra series, and we did like one chakra every week. And I signed up for it. I didn't really read the description that much. It was just recommended to me over and over by different people, and I never really asked them that much about it either. And this was in 2016, and it's led by Terry Cooper Space. I want to acknowledge,
Is that 305 yoga lady?
305
okay,
yoga.
Cool.
Yeah. And little did I know that I was going into a trauma healing experience. And the way that everything was framed and the language that she was using, it really gave words, it gave meaning, it gave context to what it was that I was experiencing without knowing what it was. And I was like, oh, trauma-informed yoga. That's what I'm trying to do, and I just don't know what it is that I'm trying to do. It's this. So I became one of her students and just learned a lot from her and how to create safe space so that people could have a healing experience. And throughout those years, I took my 300-hour training with her.
Oh, awesome.
Yeah, it was amazing. It was a women's circle. I mean, it was only women. It was 10 of us. It was amazing. And it was one of the most healing experiences I ever had. I think I cried every single day, the whole training.
I think I'm going to cry hearing about this training. I'm feeling so moved.
Yeah, it was amazing. And I began to realize throughout this training, I'm like, oh, being able to process emotions and process your past and process trauma, and having other people really see and be a safe space for your own experience is such a healing, and is such, like, I don't even need them to respond. I just sharing is all I need, at least in those moments. It's all I needed. And after this training, I began to listen to my gut a little bit more, my intuition.
Oh,
And I was
getting
like, okay, I
juicy.
think it's time for me to leave my full-time job. I was working at Lululemon at the time
Mm-hmm.
and only pursue yoga.
Oh, wow.
So I did. And I did it with very little planning. I was just like, how much longer can I do this? How much longer can I work 60 hours a week? Because I was managing there and then teaching a bunch of classes and driving all over town for privates.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, it was really exhausting.
This is the passion that drives us to pursue our heart's yearning.
I know. So I left. I
Mm-hmm.
left Lemon right literally like the week before Hurricane Irma.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Huh.
And yeah, I thought that was interesting that all of that was happening at the same time. But um, then I really began to sink into what trauma informed yoga meant and how to create these deeper experiences around yoga. And I was doing workshops where I was coupling women's circles and yoga practice together. And I was doing that for a few years. And now I am on a yoga sabbatical right now. I keep following the intuition and following the call and like, where is my hell yes? Where does my body get excited? And I'm realizing that it's in the dialogue and it's in the communication with everybody that is in the experience together, where I am actually more energized. So that's in the space that I'm in now, hosting these moon circles that I do.
Very cool.
Yes. Yeah.
Wow, I feel like I just went on that journey with you. Like I felt you hustling, driving around Miami, teaching at Lululemon, going to teach privates, going to do circles and classes. Girl, I can feel that in my body. Could you describe a little bit what trauma-informed yoga means? Because I know you just said what it means for me, or what you began to understand what it meant for you, or what it means. So what does it mean, trauma-informed yoga?
I'm going to start by defining trauma and what that means to me.
Okay.
Because that word it's a big word.
Yeah.
You know, and it's a scary word for a lot of folks. So trauma is an overwhelm to your nervous system that does not get fully processed to completion. That's the simplest way I could describe it.
Yeah.
So trauma gets stored in our nervous system, right?
Mm-hmm.
Our nervous system, right, is the extension of, is part of our brain is part of our nervous system. Therefore, we have these memories imprinted in our physical body, right? And even on an energetic perspective, for any yogis or Reiki practitioners or anybody involved in Eastern medicine out there, through our nadis, through our chakra system, prana, ki, chi, all of these things impact our own blueprint, right? Our own energetic blueprint. Yeah. So what trauma-informed yoga does, the essence of it, is it creates a safe space for you to be in your body and experience your body through your five senses, so that you can feel a willingness and you can feel a level of safety for you to fully process any emotions or any past experiences that you haven't given yourself the space to process. I want to also add that your body is wise. Your body is really wise. It knows what you're ready to process. Right? So what comes up is what you're ready for, right? So you might need to process the thing that happened when you were 27 to then process the thing that happened when you were 22, to then process the thing that happened when you were 13, to then process the thing that happened when you were 5.
Wow.
Or maybe you're just like ready and you go to the thing when you're 5. You know, it's the body knows. And then I also want to elaborate a little bit more. It is really up to you if you even want to, right?
Yeah.
So trauma-informed yoga isn't about, this is the only thing that kind of gets me a little, I want to say frustrated. That's kind of the word.
Yeah.
With practices like Bikram and Ashtanga that are very strict and you have to do the thing and, you know, there's no other way. You have to do all these poses.
Right, right.
Trauma-informed yoga is also a space for you to really feel empowered in your practice. So you don't have to do every pose. You don't have to do it in the way that I'm telling you to do it. You can go into child's pose. You can go into Shavasana. You can leave the room. Like, I don't really care. You can show up late. I don't care. You can leave early. I don't care. It's really about you reclaiming your own experience, your own sense of autonomy, and fully embodying that.
Oh my goodness. Perfect. I love it. Thank you. Ah, that speaks to my heart and my soul and everything that I have appreciated about yoga practice, because that, I really feel like for me that's what yoga has been, is trauma healing and practicing it slowly, gently, leaving what I can do. And I've always done that. Even when I go to a normal class, the class will all be in downward dog and I'll be in Shavasana or I'll be in child's pose, and just allowing myself to be where I need to be, feel it. I love that you said that, you know, like the body is wise and only lets us know what we're ready to process. That's so true. I could cry. So speaking of the body being so wise, you've now transitioned and used all your beautiful experience to transition into something new, following your intuition. So I'm curious, for people who, for maybe the first time, are learning about turning towards intuition or turning towards their inner knowing, turning towards what the body knows, what excites the body. What is it that you do to cultivate that for yourself? And then how did you know to make this shift, or what was that like for you? What sensation came up to lead you in this new direction, and how do you trust it? Is that too many questions?
No.
So what do you do to stay connected to your intuition, your body's wisdom? What was the moment like when you made this recent shift, and what advice do you have for learning to trust it?
So many big questions.
I know this podcast is deep. Okay, I'm coming after Oprah and Super Soul Sunday.
You're already there. Already happened. So I have been grounding over and over and over and over and over again in what is it that I want to feel and how can my life support that. And a little bit of that is like, oh my God, her name just slipped my mind. Danielle
Laporte. Dang, we on the same level, girl. We know these people on a first name basis, like we're all in the same friend group.
Yeah, you know. So, yeah, there was something about that work that really inspired me, and it was getting down to the desire and emotion.
Yeah.
Because every time we set a goal, or every time we set even an intention, it's really driven by a way that we want to feel.
Yeah.
Right. So that I started to like weave that a little bit more into creating my vision and creating all the goals that were going to get me to that vision. And I began to realize that initially, as I was doing this, I was creating goals that were more aligned with what I felt were external expectations of the way I should be living my life.
Right.
And as I began to tap into that, I had to keep revising and then revising and then revising and then revising. And I've been doing that. I mean, I started setting goals like very tangibly in that way since I started working at Lululemon, which was in 2016. I can't remember, or maybe it was 2014 after teacher training. It might have been 2014. I can't really remember. Or yeah. Anyway, so over time, I began to realize how just because you set a goal doesn't mean it has to stay the same. It can always be revised. And then even within that, I began to see how there is so much impermanence in life. And we can get really caught up in, I have to achieve this thing. And there is like no other way of doing it. There's so much rigidity in that. Not to say that if you have a goal and you stick with it, to not do that thing, because I think there are some people that just know 100% like this is the way, this is the direction I'm going in, and they just keep moving towards it. Some people are very certain. Me, I'm very imaginative. So imagination tends to shift very frequently. So anyway, long story short, I am really big in following the flow of my desires versus the structure and the rootedness and the rigidity of once I set this, that's it.
Ooh, girl, you're talking to me. You're talking to me.
And I think as you keep doing the work, you begin to get a little bit more in touch with your authenticity and what actually feels true for me. Oh, I'm setting that goal because so-and-so said I was good at this. Or so-and-so that I'm seeing, that I follow, somebody that I love and admire is doing all of these things and they're successful at it and that equals success. So I should go do that thing the same way that they're doing it.
Yeah.
So I'm just a really firm believer in leading from what feels good to me and I keep pulling. I use meditation a lot. There's one meditation practice I've been doing almost every day now. About I think, I feel, I need. So you pull your thinking energy into your mind, you pull your feeling energy into your heart, and you pull your needing energy into your pelvis, so that you are really making decisions from the I versus from the we.
Wow, I love that. It's an easy one to remember too. It's like head, shoulders, knees, and toes. I think, I feel, I need. Yeah.
So I've just been doing, I'm looking over here. Well, my altar's a little messy right now because I got to clean it up a little bit. But thought I'd show you. But I've been in this ritual every day. When I wake up, I don't look at my phone. I don't grab my laptop.
Bravo. I
go straight to the kitchen. I make myself my coffee.
Bravo.
I shamelessly do. This is a ritual that's been in my family for generations. So I just honor.
Yes, this is an ancestral practice, okay?
Every woman in my family makes their coffee and has their alone time in the morning.
Girl, I'm gonna cry. This conversation about coffee rituals really making me teary-eyed.
Sips of my coffee. I tend to my altar space. I do some Palo Santo burning to kind of cleanse the energy. And then I meditate. Sometimes it's 3 minutes, sometimes it's an hour. Lately, it's been around like 45 minutes because, we have so much time on our hands. So I'm just taking advantage of it.
Awesome.
But I find that it's really important to ground in yourself and ground in your own energy first, right? It's kind of like putting on the oxygen mask first. We've all heard that one over and over again. Before you then tend to the social media and the emails and people you live with or whoever you need to call, because that's all, that's all the external. And if we start putting everything else before ourselves, our energy is going to flow that way. The way we set goals and envision our life is going to flow that way. So it's important to ground in yourself first.
Oh my goodness, so beautiful. Awesome. And so what are you providing now with these women's circles so now that you have felt this shift, I guess I'm so interested in these moments of shift and these moments of being called or following this sensation, because I did the same thing recently. So in like solidarity with other people who are doing this, what was that moment like, or what is keeping you pursuing this new thing?
Mm-hmm. So I started doing women's circles with astrology specifically. I've been doing women's circles since 2017, but with astrology since June of last year. I started with the new moon in Cancer. So it was just this monthly new moon circle. Now it's evolved into meeting with the same group of people for one full lunar cycle. So we meet for about 29 and a half days, and we meet once a week, 5 times total. And I just felt, and it was during this experience that we're in right now, these circumstances that we're in, I shifted. I was still teaching yoga, right? Still teaching yoga. My yoga studio shifted everything online. I shifted, I in my home, Finca Morada is the name of my home.
I love that your house is called Finca Morada. Oh, beautiful. What's the translation? Golden Farm?
Purple farm.
What kind of farm?
Purple.
Purple, yes, thank you. Oh yeah, I think I heard Dorada, not Morada.
Oh, okay.
Finca Morada. Purple farm, that sounds magical.
It is. We got a lot of vegetation.
Amazing.
So I teach here in my home as well. So I shifted all of those classes virtual. And as I was doing it, I began to notice how I was giving a lot. I was giving so much, but even it's still reciprocal, right? The energetics for teaching, I feel, are very reciprocal. I mean, I don't know how many, after every class, everyone, thank you so much. Thank you so much. Thank you so much for doing this, because they realize how much they need it.
Right.
Moment, especially more so than ever. I've never seen so many people practicing yoga in my life.
Wow.
That's amazing. I love it. And it just became draining because I'm realizing I also need to be practicing self-care.
Right.
And so that's what I've been doing. I've been spending like half of my day doing self-care, and then the other half either working or cooking or whatever it is. But the transition it's kind of like going back to like, where is my body saying like, hell yes?
Yeah.
My body is saying hell yes to astrology and women's circles. And it's not that I'm never going to teach yoga again. I get so much out of being a teacher. And I my students get a lot out of my classes as well. There's like this beautiful energy that happens. And right now it's just,
Yeah.
I'm just following that call.
I love that. So it's where in my body do I feel a hell yeah? Is that what you said?
Yeah, I mean, everybody can feel it a little bit differently.
I usually feel it in my chest. If I feel an expansiveness in my chest, it feels like the right thing to do. Tingles. That reminds me of one of my favorite quotes, which also has an expletive, and I'm afraid to say it. That like this isn't even a PG. It's not even a like But I feel funny. But I'm gonna say it.
Yeah.
Because you have paved the way, and now I feel okay. And basically, the quote is, "If it's not a hell yeah, it's an F no." I can't even say it. But it's like, if whatever it is you're about to do is not a hell yeah, then it's an F no. Mm-hmm. It's another way of just following where do you feel hell yeah, and pursue that. Listen, this is the last thing I'll say. This book, The 5 Regrets of the Dying.
Ooh.
Really good. You know what everyone wishes? One of the regrets is basically that I wish I had lived a life according to my own inspiration, according to what I had imagined for myself. That's the biggest regret on people's deathbed, is that I didn't have the courage to pursue the hell yeah that I heard for many years and ignored. So stop ignoring your body, people. It's very wise. It's telling you things because it's alive. And because it's alive and telling you things, it wants to do these things. I'm not trying to sound too preachy, but just, Yeah. I think that's a great takeaway for all of y'all today. Would you like to say anything else, my dearest Alex?
One thing I would like to say is, for some of us, and perhaps for many of us, I think this work of transformation, this work of really getting deeply connected to your own authenticity, isn't easy. It's not easy. I think that's real. I think everyone has their own unique circumstances. For some people, it's a lot easier, and for some people, it's not. And I think it's really important to honor wherever it is that you're at. You know, just because, I don't know, I'm an astrologer and leading women's circles, and Linny is a mindfulness and meditation teacher and expert, doesn't mean that we are further along the journey or that we are better or that we've done more. It's just different.
Yeah.
And everything that you have ever experienced, whether it's something that you deserved or something that you didn't deserve, is all information, is all wisdom that is really supporting your own transformation and growth, and is really shaping the way that you show up in the world as well. So yeah, I just kind of want to share how everyone has wisdom, everyone has gifts.
Yes.
Yeah.
Listen to your wisdom, because you already have so much of it. Listen to it, trust it, believe what you know deeply. Thank you so much, Alex. I love you. So great to see you and your fabulous wall. Oh, well, thank you, everyone. Take good care.
Can I do a little plug?
Oh my God, yes, please, right now. And we're gonna go live. You know what? I'm gonna do it now on Instagram so they can see we're about to come on.
Okay.
And do your plug right now as I go live. And then you come live.
So if any of you want to follow me or connect with me or just get to know me a little bit more, I have a website, moonalchemy.co, and that's the same for my Facebook and Instagram, moonalchemy.co.
Oh my goodness. Moonalchemy.co. It's such a beautiful name. You can't forget it.
Thank you.
Awesome. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Peace. I'll see you in 2 seconds. Bye. Thank you. Thank you so much for listening. I'm going to sip a mango smoothie in your honor. I hope you share this with a friend and like, comment, and subscribe so we can just keep on dancing into the sunset. Bye. Take care.